Welcome back to Arizona Daily Mix. You know what? You probably have some perfume bottles located somewhere in your house that you thought, you know what, they're not worth anything, they're old, but they just might be. And this segment right now might change your mind. Joining me now is Roland Hill. He's the founder of BlueLeaf Estate Auctions. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
We appreciate it. Good to see you. So there is value in vintage perfume bottles.
Oh yes, lots of value.
Yeah. And tell me the history of perfume bottles, because they go way back.
They go way back. You know, the first evidence of perfume making was in Europe. Well, in Egypt actually, and then picked up by the Romans and the Persians. And a lot of the bottles that they made weren't just made for the perfume, they were made to be worn.
Oh, really? So they were an accessory?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so when you're looking at some of these perfume bottles, many of them are vintage and could be worth a lot of money.
Could be worth a lot of money. The most collectible ones are from Czechoslovakia. They have the most elaborate bottles with some of the tops that are made out of crystal, you know, Swarovski crystal and all that stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's why those are sought after collectibles.
Right, because they're very elaborate.
So how do you know which ones to collect and which ones you probably shouldn't waste
You know,
your time with?
I think one has to do their research. Like these here, these are from Egypt. The person went over to Egypt and they picked these up and they brought them back. So, I mean, when you see one, I think you need to do your research on it to know where it came from, a little history about it. So if you're going to collect them, then you need to collect what you know.
So when you see them, what should you be looking for? Are there identifiable markers?
Yeah, there should be markers on the bottoms, or you can look at the tops of them. And like on the tops here, you know, like this has the dauber there, and then if this is crystal, you'll feel that it's crystal.
They're gorgeous.
They are. They're really nice and very delicate.
So where do people typically find these?
At auctions now, you know, or estate sales, you know, things that are in someone's home that, you know, they've passed away.
Do you find that a lot of people travel at length to find these?
You know, I'm sure there are quite a few people that when they're on vacation, they may go out and pick up a few bottles. If they're into collecting these, you know, you go to Poland or somewhere, you might go look for a couple of bottles, yeah.
So when you talk about determining, you know, their value, doing your research, how do you go about doing that? Where do you look to find out what they might be worth?
I would say if you went on the web and you go to like, you can go to eBay and you go to some of those sites, but you know, they're sites that really are into perfume bottles and they have values and what this one sold for at auction and what that one sold for at another place, you know, so that'll give you an idea of what you have and what you're looking at.
Well, this is a big market, would you say, for estate sales?
Yes, yes, huge market.
Booming, would you say?
Well, it's summertime. It's summertime.
Yeah, everything kind of dies down a little bit in the summertime.
Right.
But you do have information about an estate sale that is happening this month. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the auction we've got we've got one almost every weekend. We've got one this next weekend on the 16th. That we've got a few Rolex watches, real nice watches, and then this sale here is on the 23rd. We'll be selling these bottles as well as these meerschaum pipes here.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about these.
These meerschaum pipes, and meerschaum, they're made of sea foam, and it's Sephanite, which is German for sea foam, and they liked these better than the clay pipes because they smoke cooler, and then as you use them, they'll change colors because the tar would go through the pipe and it'd turn them orange or yellow or amber, you know, colors like that. But these are highly collectible, especially these big ones here, and these were bought overseas.
How do you determine the value of those?
These here, well, these can be very pricey, and you can go online and you can check out, you know, what some have sold for at auction, you know, Sotheby's or Christie's or something like that. These are very high-end pipes here.
Okay, well, we want to give people the details about that auction and the estate sale on Saturday, June 23rd. That's in Ahwatukee?
Yeah, it'll be in Ahwatukee, and we'll start at 9 o'clock, and we've got other things we'll sell. The gentleman, the estate that's coming from, traveled the world and collected almost everything. And if you go on our site, the pictures are there. We're still adding pictures. This is an incredible estate sale.
Okay, well, go to the website, then definitely check it out at 602blue.com. Roland, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Likewise. You're welcome.